Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the number one crypto show on Rumble. Thanks to the viewers and listeners and subscribers. Of course, powered by our sponsor, Solum Global, with your hosts, the Crypto Brothers, myself, Lance Miliaccio, and George Ballantine, my brother from another mother. This is your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. And we don't care whether you're a seasoned investor or just stepping into the world of digital assets for the very first time. We bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital assets. Because on this show in crypto, we trust Simsalabim. George B., what's shaking, my brother?
I don't know. It's Wednesday morning. I don't know if I'm fully awake. Well, I'm awake, but maybe fully functional. I don't know. I have been doing so much on the computer this morning that sometimes when you look at it for so much and now you're looking at it more, I like to give my eyes a rest. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm ready though.
We're always ready to go. Of course, this is our new time slot, 9 a.m. Wednesday, 9 a.m. Friday for the Crypto Power Hour. Grinding away, doing what we're doing. It's nonstop for George and I. Of course, we've got our regular show, the Big Mig Show at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard, Monday through Friday, and that's a news roundup, big guests, MMA, actors, actresses, you name it, kind of a Joe Rogan, Sean Ryan style show, if you will. Of course, if you haven't checked it out, please do, and don't forget to hit the follow button here on the Crypto Power. Oh, excuse me. Got a little allergies, guys. Little allergy action going on this morning, I noticed. And if you like the show, thumbs up, comment, share. And if you can do a paid subscription, please do. It's how we support the show. It's literally only $5 a month. One less fancy coffee month, maybe one less convenient snack that you probably shouldn't be eating anyway. You shouldn't be eating processed foods. But at the end of the day, it's only $5. Or if you like, you can give us a Rumble Rant tip during the show. And I want to thank everybody. Honestly, I appreciate you guys making us the number one crypto show on Rumble. That's a big deal for us, and we really appreciate you guys. That's kind of a leap of faith you gave us at the beginning. We've been producing a lot of episodes now. Don't forget also, you can find us on all the top podcast platforms out there. So if you're on Spotify or otherwise, man, please follow us. Like our comment, share it, do what you can. And don't forget, you can always take the short form and the long form. If you want to build your own crypto account, please do, man. Please take your social media if you're doing it. And if you have a project, number one, if you like to sponsor the show, just hit us up over at the info at thebigmig.com. Always looking for like-minded sponsors. And if you'd like to, be a guest on the show, if you have a big project, we don't care. We're always looking to interview great people from Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Uphold, you name it. Give us one of the top projects. We're happy to do it. We're not a pump and dump place, though. We don't pump people's projects on this show. It's not what we do. All right, let's thank our sponsors. One of our sponsors, of course, Genesis Gold Group. I'm holding up that prepper bar, and I don't care whether or not it's for economic turmoil, inflation, just because you want to hold some gold and silver. You don't want to take any chances. This is an innovative concept. 62.2 grams of gold and silver. And you can basically snap off a small piece to make a payment if you hold it. George tells me with the new camera, if I hold it right, you guys can see it. I'm going to move it around a little bit.
There you go, right?
What?
Right
I had it right there.
Right there.
A little angle on the camera.
Yeah,
anyway,
you don't get the
great
light.
innovation. Comes in gold and silver. There isn't anybody that doesn't like gold and silver. Let's face it. There isn't anybody that doesn't, is going to say, oh, don't give me any gold. Don't give me any silver. Sure, you like crypto on this show, but you also probably like a little bullion because gold and silver is kicking butt. Had you listened to us early on, again, not financial advice, we're just telling you diversification is a great way to protect yourself. Of course, George always makes it easy with that QR code. You take a snapshot, you go there after the show, and exclusive to our listeners and subscribers, we're going to give you a promo code because that's the way we roll. That's right. Thebigmigbar.com, all caps, PREPPER, PREPPER. That's all caps. Prepper, 10% off on the silver, 5% off on the gold. Thebigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that prepper bar.
Well, this show is all about educating you. We want to make sure you and your family don't miss out on generational wealth. Lots of opportunity in the Christosphere. There's more going on. Now, listen, if you haven't been over to Solum.global, not .com, Solom.global. Please go there after the show. Check them out. They've got some big news coming up. We're going to have Kirk St. John's and Sebastian Sorrell Watts on the show here soon. We'll get them back on because, of course, we appreciate the support. Yeah, of course we are.
We are?
And there's lots of announcements coming up. We'll be telling you more about that. That's right. Lots of announcements from Solom Global. Also, maybe a great product coming out. Maybe a way to buy gold below market. Unbelievable. They put that together too. So these guys are innovative. They're snapping necks. They're cashing checks. They're doing what they got to do. Of course, great company, and we appreciate the support for the show. Amazing stuff. So let's get into the education piece. As always, George has put a great one together. A lot of people still have confusion about wallets, how to use wallets, cold and hot storage, you name it. So this show, Master Your Crypto, the ultimate wallet guide. Now, you can always go back to our old episodes and you can educate yourself from front to back. If you download it on the podcast, you download it on Spotify, you can just have your earbuds in. Your boss won't even know you're listening. So it might be worth checking it out.
That's free advice.
That's right. And a great opportunity. All right, George, dig in here. Tell me what we got here.
All right,
let's talk about a little introduction.
So did you know that over 3 billion, I'm telling you, over 3 billion in crypto was stolen in 2024 alone? That's all due to what? Poorly secured wallets. What do we always tell you on the show? Security, security. Your biggest security risk is you, the user. So your crypto is only safe as a wallet you choose. That also makes a big point right there. So we're going to explain why understanding wallets is actually critical for anyone in crypto, right? It's like even if you have like I don't have my wallet, but let's say you have your wallet where you put your credit cards and money in. You're going to buy like a cheapy old wallet if your wallet's got holes in it where your cards can fall out, you're going to keep using it? No, absolutely not. No. So I'm going to go over them. I'm going to help empower you guys. Lance and I, we're going to give you information right now to help you secure your crypto in the best way possible. But you need to listen, pay attention, because you are the security risk. All right, I'm going to say you have wallets versus exchanges. You have hot wallets versus cold wallets, hot and cold. Because you're going to have to ask yourself, well, how do I choose a secure wallet that fits my needs? We're going to help you out. Lance and I are going to go over everything, try to break it down as simply as possible. Right? So wallets and exchanges. Here, we're going to do the basics right now. What is a crypto wallet? I'm glad you guys all asked. It's actually a software program, or it could be a physical device that's going to store your private and public keys that will help you interact with the blockchain. Now, you don't store crypto in a wallet. You store the keys to access your crypto on the blockchain. What is a crypto exchange? It's a platform for buying, selling, and trading crypto. Now, some examples, you got what? Coinbase, Binance, a bunch of others. That's where you go. Now, exchanges will often act as custodians, which means they control your keys unless you withdraw to a wallet. Now, there's differences, big differences right now with ownership ownership. So wallets, you control your keys. Exchanges, they control your keys. Now you have security. Wallets can be more secure if managed properly. Exchanges, listen, anything that's going to be on a computer or digital can always be targeted by attacks. There's always that vulnerability. It is what it is. But wallets for holding and transacting, like exchanges for trading, use case, like common misconceptions, I'm going to try to go over with you guys. All right. So here's a myth. This is, you always hear it. Leaving crypto on exchange is just as safe as a wallet. No. All wallets are the same. No. They are not. So if you go to like a notable exchange hack, like, I don't know, MTGOX or FTX, they'll emphasize the risk of leaving funds on exchanges. Me personally, if you only have like a few dollars, $30, $40, $100, yeah, you can leave it on there. It's not a big deal. If you're talking bigger money, you have bigger, like bigger crypto funds, you don't want to leave it. You want to secure that. It's most important. So you're going to say, where are you going to keep your crypto right now? Exchange, wallet, or both? So if you want to ask, you can put that in the comments. I like to hear what what they're doing. It's always good to have different perspectives. I want to know what you're thinking. This way, if there's something we may see that's wrong, or you may see something you don't like with us, tell us. Let us know. Lance and I will break it down for you. We have no problem doing that. So now I'm going to go back. You got hot wallets versus cold wallets. What's the difference? Okay. So a hot wallet is a wallet that's connected to the internet. Well, it could be from your mobile app, your browser on your computer or extension, or desk software. It's anything. Like I can tell you right now, through Google Chrome, I have like a couple extensions to my wallets. Or you could have on my app too, right here. I have my wallet. I don't know if you can see it. Let me pull it up from Lance. I don't want to show. Well, I'm going to show one with no money in it. So this is like, this is a wallet app right here. That is MetaMask, right? So you have MetaMask, you have Trust Wallet, you have Coinbase Wallet. I even got Coinbase Wallet on there. It's like right there too. Hold on, let me show you. See? Coinbase Wallet.
So clearly you're going to find out that you can't get all the cryptocurrencies all in one wallet. There is no Google of wallets, right? There is no one-stop shop. You're going to find that you're going to have to own more than one wallet. And that has a lot to do with these apps. I also want to give kind of a warning. Again, I don't know the story behind all of it. I don't know what is exactly true. I heard an awful thing about Trust Wallet the other day. I heard a person transferred over about $22,000 or $3,000 to Trust Wallet. It landed, and in a matter of seconds, it was allegedly stolen. How it was stolen, what they did. The thing I don't like about it is not so much the theft. Not that the theft doesn't suck, because it's a person I know. What sucks about it is the reaction Trust Wallet had to it, which allegedly was supposedly, yeah, your money's gone. We don't have anything to do with it. Sorry, bye. They basically were dismissive about it. And when you go on to Discord and some of the other places that people are talking about wallets, that seems to be a recurring topic with Trust Wallet. So right now, I would say MetaMask, Coinbase. George, if you want to make some other suggestions, maybe Uphold, Kraken. But I would not use Trust Wallet right now. That's my own personal advice based on what I heard.
Decent's a good wallet too. So, I mean, yeah. I have Decent, MetaMask, and Coinbase, or the base wallet right now.
Yeah.
Actually, I have more, but I have them for various reasons, just to do some transactions. But they're not my
we've done some
wallets.
Weird stuff. You know, we've had to open up wallets because there's certain meme coins that are only available in one spot or otherwise. And we were just screwing around with meme coins. Not because we thought we were going to get infinitely wealthy, because we were trying to learn the process and staking and trying to make sure that we were knowledgeable enough that we could be good teachers for you guys. So, you know, these wallets, listen, right now for the year, as of June, 2 million, 2 billion, nearly 2 billion in hacks already this year. So already on point for one of the biggest right now. And George, what are you doing with your eyebrows? What's going on there, bro?
I'm just looking, what?
I saw you look at yourself and moving your eyebrows around. What's going on there?
Oh, I was looking up at a different monitor. I got all these monitors, you know?
Okay. Vulnerable hacks, phishing, malware. It's legit. Again, I wouldn't use Trust Wallet right now. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of that story. But I think basically you've got to have strong personal security practices. Remember this. These coins aren't funny money. They are legitimate sources of capital. You do not want to take a chance. And like George said, you start getting into some larger numbers, you're really going to want to think about a cold wallet. And you're like, cold storage, cold wallet, what the frick is that? So that's an offline wallet, minimally connected to the internet. And some of these examples are like Ledger, NanoX, Trezor. Okay. Those are all versions of a cold storage wallet. They also have paper wallets, but I'm not sure I'm a fan of those. For a number of reasons. But let me say something to you. When you put it into these hard wallets, you've got to maintain that seed phrase. Now, a lot of them come with a seed phrase card. That stuff has to be stored separately. You do not want to get in a position where somebody catches you with your hard wallet and your seed phrase in the same locations. Now, These wallets are extremely secure against online threats. They're great for ideal for long-term storage, of course, of large amounts. But a large amount is all perspective. What may be a small amount to somebody else could be a large amount to you. So my opinion is, if you got a decent amount invested, you should do this. Now, the right combination is if you're using stable coins, as an example, to make payments. Let's say you're paying for your Starbucks or other items, right? You're paying for stable coins. They're less convenient if you're doing frequent transactions. So your larger amounts of crypto, you may want to have in your cold storage. And then you might have a couple of $100 in your active wallet, right? You might have it in that, because if you want to make payments, that's going to be a much easier process for you. And, the hardware wallets do have an upfront cost. Now, there are lots of these other wallets that have costs too. They have monthly costs when you get into the more advanced versions. So this isn't a free thing, but that hardware wallet can cost you anywhere from $50 to $200. Now, there is a risk. If you lose that hard wallet, or you lose the seed phrase for that hard wallet, you are shit out of luck. So a lot of people think multi-signature wallets, right, are a good move, which can be, where you have to have more than one person to log in the wallet. A lot of people have gone to that have large amounts of money because of kidnapping. There is a way to combine hot and cold storage. And, they say it's advanced, but I don't think it's that advanced. But to get started, I would tell you to go with a hot wallet, right? And just for daily spending, and a cold wallet for your savings. It's kind of like a checking account and a savings account, right? Checking account, you keep your money you're going to be using regularly, but any large amounts you might sweep into your savings account. My point is, that's kind of how you want to think about this storage. So if you're making payments, you're going to want to active guests. Now, there's a lot of technical differences, that you have to think about when you're dealing with these cold storages. So I think the idea would be for you to think about, go look online, look for the reviews, look at the interfaces, and decide which one you might feel most comfortable with. That's a personal thing. Everybody's different. George is very tech savvy. So in his case, none of this is above him. I might not be as tech savvy, so I might want something that has a real simple interface. Like, I like Uphold. It's a pretty simple way to buy coins, but it's not necessarily the best price. Sometimes you'll notice a tenth of a cent, couple of tenths of a cent difference, which is the money they're making. So let's talk about how you choose a safe and suitable wallet. George, let's talk about how people assess their own personal needs, maybe their investments, and then maybe explain, the struggle we had, with different wallets, and realizing that there was no one size fits all wallet. That's why we ended up with so many of them.
Yep. So you're going to probably base your wallet, that's, I don't know, your frequency of use. You're using it for daily trading or long-term holding, just buying a little here and there, whatever. But you can always just to play around and learn the crypto game. Just get one wallet, learn what you're doing, learn the basics of it, and get the hang of it before you even go deeper further. Another thing you look for is, like, what are you going to be holding? Like your crypto amounts. I said earlier, you got small amounts or you have big amounts, like big investments. Like let's say, for instance, you got, I don't know, 10 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin. You don't want to keep that on hot wallet. You want to keep that offline. Definitely do not want it in a hot wallet. You keep it in a cold wallet, off the internet. And actually, another key thing I always say is, if you have a cold wallet, put it in a Faraday bag, just for extra security. That will block any transmissions, whether Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, anything from that wallet. It's just an added security. It's a little bonus. You can get a Faraday bag. They're really cheap. They're not expensive. I mean, your cold wallets they're small. They're like this, flash drives, all different types of models. But, and then you look at, what's comfortable for you. You want to look at, if you're a beginner, you have to look at beginner friendly apps, because there are ones that are more friendly or easier to use and navigate, versus there are ones that are advanced. They have, harder setups, and it all takes time. I mean, when I first got into it, I was looking like, what the hell am I looking at? All this stuff. And
George, you looked at quite a few cold wallets, because we talked about moving some of our assets over for the cold wallets. Which one did you end up liking the best?
Off the top of my head, Lance.
I know you were looking at Ledger as one of them, weren't you?
I think it was, Ledger was definitely one of them. I can't think of the other name. I have to look. I'll look it up. I'll know when it comes to me when I see the name. I'm just bad with names, people. So, Ledger was definitely one of them. Even Decent has a good one too.
Yeah,
Decent has a strong one, but there's either Ledger or another one.
Well, there are many. If you type in, you can always go to Google or one of those. But there are a lot of products out there, right? You've got the Elipal Titan, which a lot of people like. That's gotten very high ratings. When I looked it up, that was a 5 out of 5. Ledger has multiple models, but the Stacks is a good one. Tracer was another good brand. I know that. But I think when we were looking, I think the ones we liked the best were the Elipal and the Ledger.
I think it was was it Elipal? Let me see. Yeah, you're right. It was Ledger and Elipal. I'm just looking at it right now.
And the Elipal model we were looking at is the Titan. Now they offer 10,000 cryptos on there. That's why we like the Elipal Titan. That was one of the ones we kind of liked. And George, I don't know if we even looked. Could you even get the Solum stablecoin moved over? I know that's one of the reasons we wanted, because we own quite a few Solum coins.
To where?
Elipal. Would they even accept that coin? Do you know?
I don't know, Lance. I'd have to look it up and see. I don't want to give a wrong answer. And
absolutely,
that's a good question. You want to do
that's an air-gapped wallet. Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. Anyway, so these are all thoughts. You just have to keep in mind. You have to look at what you've got, right? Frequency of use, crypto holdings. Key security features to look for. George loves 2-factor authentication. I have to agree with him on that. You got to think about how you're going to hold on to your seed phrases, what your backup options are. Some people get, like, for example, the Elipal comes with these little metal cards. You can spell out your seed phrases in there, and then you lock it in, and then you can hide that card. But you have to think, what if I lose the one card? So having a backup plan, having it written down in different locations separate from the wallet. You do not want to keep the seed phrase and the wallet, say in your home safe or somewhere like that, combined together, because you just gave everybody the keys to the kingdom if you do that.
And now they're coming out, actually, I think they're working on more advanced features instead of having these long seed phrases like either using eye scan, face scan, fingerprint scan. There's things coming out because these phrases, a lot of people lose them, or they're just long and they're just random name, like words, I should say. Just random words. It could be 12, could be up to 50, I think 18 now. But it's
and let me say something. Always be concerned about wallets with unclear ownership or shady reviews. Offers that seem too good to be true, like free crypto for signing up. You want to think about the fact that a good wallet probably isn't cheap, and a cheap wallet probably isn't good. So you only want to download wallets from official sources. There have been some amazing clone websites put up there where people thought they were downloading a wallet from Coinbase.com, and they were downloading a wallet from Coinbase.eu, and didn't realize they were downloading a hack wallet, and transferred their crypto, and away their crypto went. So be careful. I think it's the most important best practices for safety. Never share your seed phrases or private keys unless it's somebody you implicitly trust. And that family member has to be the kind of person that wouldn't lose those seed phrases and, or in fact, share them or do something stupid, like provide them if they're questioned.
So I just want to go example. So, let's look at a Cold Start wallet and Ledger. They have two different models. They have the Ledger Nano X, and it's, it's best for beginners. It's like $149. Then you have the Ledger Stacks, which is, best for design and UX. That's $400. Just to give you an example. Decent actually, Lance, has biometric security. And that's $139.
Yeah.
There's some for like $55, some for $80. So, normally you get what you pay for. And that's with anything in life. Just remember that you get what you pay for. You think you're going to buy something because it's a cheaper price. Usually, a lot of times, it's either a knockoff, it's not built as good. Could have a nice, beautiful picture on it, nice advertising, but let's face it, you're not getting what you pay for. So always remember that. Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's better. Even in construction, when you want to get a job done, right? You always get 3 estimates. And not necessarily the lowest estimate you want to go with, or even the highest estimate.
Yeah.
Usually you want to go to middle ground estimate, because either the highest estimate, they don't know what they're doing. They could be overcharging, whatever the situation is.
No doubt.
So, I mean, there's there's so many tools and things to look up to get information.
And for a beginner, a lot of people out there, well, if I only have $500 in crypto, whether it's Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, whatever, but $500 to some person might be all their savings. So, what's the safest wallet? I'd go with a major brand, MetaMask, a Coinbase, a Binance. I'd go to one of those exchanges that has a wallet built in, one of the top ones. I wouldn't go to the off, and I sure wouldn't use Trust Wallet right now. Now, that being said, to somebody else, 500 might be their daily usage of that they're going to be making payments at their nail salon or otherwise with crypto or a food place. So it really comes down to you. You have to say, and if you lose your seed phrase, a lot of people have asked, what happens if I lose my seed phrase? You're fucked. Okay, let me say this. There are a lot of wallets right now that exist out there where people cannot recover it, because you got to remember in the very beginning, Bitcoin was, damn near worthless. A lot of people were not very careful with their wallet addresses, and they have not been able to recover. It doesn't matter that Bitcoin's $111,000, $12,000 a coin now. It doesn't change because it's more valuable. You will not get back your seed phrase. Are hard wallets worth the cost that comes from the audience? Yes. Yes, again, it all comes down to valuation. You have to ask yourself, why do you rent a safety deposit box, right? Even though I don't totally agree with safety deposit box, because you never know if the bank is going to, seize anybody's assets or cooperate with the federal government on an asset. Or what if they get robbed and you haven't disclosed what's in your safety deposit box? Wink, wink. Maybe you got a shitload of cash in there. Point is, there's a reason you use a safety deposit box. There may be a reason you have a safe at the house, a gun safe, a personal safe. So does a hardware wallet make a lot of sense? Yeah. I mean, just like, does it make a lot of sense? The Second Amendment, should you protect your assets? Yes. So at the end of the day, what I want to tell everybody is, if you have any specific questions, you should always email us. You can always send it to info@thebigbig.com. You can ask George or Lance. We'll try to do our best to get back to you. We've been answering quite a few questions lately from people. We'll do what we can. So look, here's the key takeaways, right? Wallets are going to give you control over your crypto. They're not like exchanges, right? Hot wallets are convenient but less secure. Cold wallets are safer but less accessible. Choose a wallet based on your needs. Prioritize security features like non-custodial keys and backups, right? You've got to decide. You want to research the wallets. Don't listen to us only on the show. Type in best cold storage wallet, best hot wallets. Check out our show notes. Look for links to trusted wallets. We'll always put some of that in there. And then, the point is, you can always come here for the next show to learn the next piece of crypto. So don't ever feel like you can't come and join us. So once again, check the cold storage, check the hot storage, and don't put yourself in a position where you haven't protected your assets as well as you possibly can. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say it easy. This is real fucking money, guys. You're not playing with this isn't some kind of funny, but it's not monopoly money. At the end of the day, you should treat it as such. Some people are kind of foolish because, listen, today's crypto that isn't that valuable, just like Bitcoin, is tomorrow's winner. Look at Ethereum where it started. Look at XRP even right now. And as these big organizations like JP Morgan, Chase, and others get involved, Citibank, that crypto is going to become more and more and more valuable. There's no doubt. So it's really important to do all that. George, what else you got, brother?
Well, you know what? Hold on. I gotta bring you in on this. I forgot to put your picture. My fault. If you want a use case scenario, here's 2 crypto wallets. You can scan and look at it. If you want to send crypto to it,
yeah,
by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll take crypto tips. We'll take anything you got. That allows you to send us Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, you name it. It's the name of the game. We're always happy to let you tip us on this show. And remember, you always only want to use your public address. Don't give out those private keys, and don't give out your seed phrases.
Don't. Never. You're your own security risk. Remember that. We always tell you that. So practice, learn. You don't have to necessarily get a cold storage wallet. Just deal with a hot wallet. Play around with $40, $50, whatever. Buy a little whatever coin you want. Hold it for a day or two. Sell it. Buy something else. Just learn how to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. Because if you're playing around with $20, hopefully you can play around with it. You have it to do. But
George, you think it's important? Should we explain to people right now about sending crypto, or should we save that for the next show?
We can save it for the next one. You know why? Because we're at break time anyway. So
okay,
I think we'll
talk about next show. We're going to talk about sending, receiving crypto, sending to the wrong address. What happens? Can you claw it back? This is going to be important stuff. We'll explain the utility of wallets and maybe how those transactions work from A to Z on the next show. So, of course, it is what it is. The Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solum Global. We'll take a short break. And when we come back, you know how we do it. We're going to be covering those hot topics, top news. Russia is warning that the United States will leverage stablecoins backed by treasuries to offload $35 trillion in debt. We've heard some rumors about this. We'll tell you exactly what's going on. We'll be right back with George Ballantyne, myself, Lance from the Yacht Show. Take the live link, share it in your social media right now. Tell them to get over here to the Crypto Power Hour, numero uno, baby, on Rumble. And of course, hit that like button. Go over to freaking X. Follow Solum Global. Follow the Crypto Power Hour. And don't forget to check us out on True Social and Getter also, man, on the break. Be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
Don't go nowhere.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
President Trump has a bold new vision to help secure America's future through the power of cryptocurrency. Partnering with pioneers like Elon Musk, he's turning crypto into the next frontier of financial freedom. But how can you, a generation that values security and stability, advance your retirement in this digital age? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the world's first AI-driven platform designed to help your cryptocurrency investments thrive. Thousands of retirees nationwide are already securing their futures with Block Trust IRA. Isn't it time you join them? Visit blocktrustira.com now and receive up to $2,500 in funding bonuses. That's blocktrustira.com. The experts in accelerating wealth retirement.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation. As gold and silver prices continue to surge and top economists predict upcoming shortages, now is the time to secure your precious metals in the form of Prepper Bars. Go to PrepperBar.com now and place your order before supply runs out and prices go up. All payment methods accepted. Order your silver Prepper Bars now at PrepperBar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solum Global. Here we your hosts, Lance Migliaccio, yours truly, George Ballantyne. You got the Crypto Bros, we got the Crypto Mafia in the chat, Crypto Army. If you're out there listening or watching, come join the chat. A lot of people in there, and if you got any questions, you can always put them in the chat. We'll try to get to them if we can, but if not, you can always email us at info@thebigmig.com. And don't forget to hit that share button, like button, the thumbs up button, the follow button, and subscribe for $5 a month. We truly appreciate it. It helps pay for overhead, keeps the show going. And you want to share this live right now on your social media. Help educate. Help us build the show. All right, we appreciate it. Let me give a shout out to our sponsor, BlockTrustIRA.com. They're your partner in your Bitcoin journey, powered by Animus Technologies. They're empowering all Americans to take control of their financial future by providing secure, intelligent, accessible cryptocurrency investment within the familiar structure of an IRA. So in a world where traditional retirement strategies are struggling to keep pace with inflation and economic uncertainty, Block Trust IRA offers a clear alternative geared to work with individual investors to secure their future financial wealth. So if you have a 401k or an IRA, you can transfer it over, or you can start new ones, or you can simply invest. And I say economic uncertainty. Just yesterday, they had a revised jobs report for 2024 under the Biden administration where they made up about 1 million jobs just to make that administration look good. And it's now being all revised and taken back. So if you don't think that's going to, that just put Trump, gave him a worse economy to deal with. And now we're going to end up dealing with it now more than ever. This might be an answer for you guys. Their AI investments outperforms the market-leading management with no hidden fees. They trade over 60 different cryptocurrencies, rapidly accelerating American retirement wealth. That's BlockTrustIRA.com. QR code's right here. Save it to your photo files. Take a screenshot. You'll be good to go. We got you covered every which way possible on this show. We try to do it all. Now, this is a weird story. I don't know how to take this. I don't know if it's just Russia being Russia. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. But Russia is warning that the United States will leverage stable coins backed by treasuries to offload the $35 trillion in debt. I'm trying to figure out how would they even execute this, but they say the play is pushing global adoption, then actually devaluing the dollar, leaving the world holding the bag. I'm a little confused on this one. Could this be true? I don't know. Lance, what do you think?
There's one thing I'd never underestimate is the Russian intelligence apparatus. So my take is, we've heard some stories about this, that in fact, Donald Trump does have a plan that would include, figuring out ways by revaluing certain cryptocurrencies. Heard a lot of stories about XRP maybe being the one that they would buy a bunch of XRP and then reval it along with Brad Garlinghouse, which would make a lot of sense for the Swiss system and everything else. But that's not a stable coin. That's an altcoin. We've heard that story. Stable coins, would they produce enough stable coins and they would say if the stable coins are now what you're getting instead of the debt? Maybe. Over the years, there's been lots of smart moves by governments. I kind of think this is very possible. Do the Russians have the story completely right? I'm not sure. Let's play the clip.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll tell you that, to say the most.
Америка прямо сейчас пытается поменять правила на рынке золота и криптовалют. Вспомните, какой у них долг. 35 триллионов долларов. В общем-то, это два альтернативных валютному сегменту мировых рынка. Действия Вашингтона в этом направлении отчетливо демонстрируют одну из главных американских задач. Они очень хотят решить проблему снижения доверия к доллару. США, как это было и в 30-е, и в 70-е годы, будут решать свои финансовые проблемы за счет всего мира, загоняя всех куда? В криптовалютное облако. Со временем, когда часть госдолга США будет размещена в стейблкоинах, США обесценит этот долг. Еще раз простыми словами. У них сейчас валютный 35-триллионный долг. Они его загоняют в крипту, в облако, обесценивают и начинают с нуля. Это для тех, кто очень любит заниматься криптой.
Now, just for everybody, that wasn't straight Russian, meaning that we do have it in closed captions. Sorry for you people out there on the podcast world. I guess we could have done the audio and maybe I made that easier for you. But again, if you want to see it, you can head over to Rumble, look up the Crypto Power Hour show, look up this episode. You can actually get the closed caption on it, or you could maybe even Google it if you want to find it. But look, let's face it, $37 trillion in debt and counting. Yeah, we want a solution. And the only solution isn't just the tariffs, although he is raising a crap load of money in the tariffs. We'll have to see. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll let you know what it is. I'm not positive it's going to be stable coins. I'm wondering if it isn't going to be the altcoins. I could see a revalue happening in the altcoins. You could see something going on with Ethereum, XRP, Solana. Who knows? He has had a lot of meetings with Brad Garlinghouse from XRP.
Yeah, but I'd like to know where they're coming up with this, where they're getting this information or coming up with this. Like, for him to come with, for this Russia to come out with this statement, what information do they have to back this up? Or right?
Well, let's face it, the Russian intelligence apparatus is pretty sophisticated. You never know where they got it from, George. They have lots of sources. I would say that coming out of Russia, it's relatively credible. Is the story perfect? Are they giving us all the details? Maybe not.
Say it's credible? I don't, but okay.
I think it's I think it's credible because there have been other stories that I've gotten from other people that have talked about what they would do with the debt, the U.S. government. And it has included discussions in the crypto sphere, David Sachs and others. So I don't know. We'll see. At the end of the day, it's one of those things we'll just keep an eye on. Let's talk about this story coming out of Morgan Stanley, George. This is kind of a big story.
It is. Morgan Stanley, right? XRPs. 1 trillion flood to shake SWIFT. The Wall Street Wolves, right? The Wolf of Wall Street sees Ripple XRP as perfectly fit capture at least 1 trillion in a cross-border market. So if you remember recently that Morgan Stanley acknowledged that Ripple might be the leading alternative for SWIFT. And actually a lot of banking institutions are like XRP over anything else. So, I mean, are they looking at this for their XRP's SWIFT quicker transactions? And that, particularly in the cross-border section? I don't know. We'll see. But a passage from the Manhattan-based Financial Enterprises Review has caught the eye of market watchers. And listen, we always tell you, like, XRP is it's a matter of time. Could be next month, 2 months, next year. I don't know. But it's a matter of time before that just, boom, takes off. Because they got so many contracts that they have under NDA. I don't know when they're going to be released. Who knows? But, XRP's ledger technology was renowned for capabilities to potentially reduce processing costs by 60%. 60% reducing processing costs. I mean, any bank looking at that is going to be like, whoa, that's 60% more money they can make. Who knows? You know how bankers think. But I don't know, Lance. This is by far a bold move. And I think what they're saying is, they're pretty much saying that I think they're definitely going with it, but all the banks are going to follow suit if they haven't already, if we don't know. But XRP is where it's at. They have a liquidity influx that would build on Ripple's XRP chain. And they're saying they're projecting a 1 trillion market liquidity addition in case of a successful Ripple-based exchange-traded fund ETF launch this year. 1 trillion.
Well, let's face this. There are a lot of ETFs that are being slated. Morgan Stanley is one of the ones talking about it. Let's face it, very powerful financial house. If Morgan Stanley gets behind this being the big move, right? Because let's face it, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, he's super optimistic. He's forecasting that Ripple will capture 14% of the SWIFT's gigantic 155 trillion annualized transaction volume. You start looking at numbers like that, 1 trillion is nothing. Talk about 10% of 155 trillion is 15 trillion. At that point, between that and the ETFs, and if they get big institutional support, if the Morgan Stanleys, the Citibanks, Chase, all the big firms start coming out with ETFs and start supporting this is big. And I know there's some people that aren't big believers in this, But I think this is where it's going to go. And I think when you look at the outcome of the Swift XRP and HBAR blockchain, because HBAR is a big part of this also, a lot of this testing is not going to be known at least till November 2025. But this falls in a lot with the numerous Ripple's ETF submissions. So a lot of people have already filed with the SEC for Ripple ETFs. We even know that Animus Technologies is talking about an AI trading product for Ripple that they want to do. Right now, their AI version is only in AI. It's only trading the altcoins and it's only trading Bitcoin and, of course, Ethereum. So, I think we got to keep an eye on this. But anytime Morgan Stanley talks, Wall Street and the global markets listen. So they're saying $1 trillion. Brad Garlinghouse is saying $15.5 trillion. Maybe it's down the middle, George. Maybe it's 7 or 8 trillion. Who knows?
I know. I know. You would think XRP is slowly creeping back up. I think it hit the $3 range. I don't know where it's at right now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm looking at the
$295 or $292 yesterday. So I don't know.
Let me see.
Again, buy and
like
hold,
$295,
baby.
Yeah.
Buy on the dips, buy and hold. It is what it is. Let's talk about Gemini Exchange secured NASDAQ as strategic backer ahead of their IPO. So it's pretty interesting. Gemini has tapped into those NASDAQ equity pools. That's a big deal. And according to sources familiar with the matter, they're saying that Gemini has partnered with NASDAQ, which NASDAQ is going to purchase 50 million in shares through a private placement at the IPO. Now, Gemini, even though they got their IPO come up, they have had some mounting losses. But that being said, the crypto appetite for any kind of crypto securities right now is very high on Wall Street. The Winklevoss brothers, you know who they are. They got screwed on Facebook. They were bounded with that money, bought Bitcoin. The rest is history. This is theirs, and this initial public offering is later this week. So it's big that NASDAQ is involved. They're going to buy 50 million of the IPO through a private placement. I don't know what the terms of that placement are. Oh, I do know the terms. I apologize. They're going to be selling 16.67 million shares at $17 and $19 each, which could raise up to 317 million and target a company valuation of approximately $2.22 billion. This is big stuff, but man, you can't underestimate these Winklevoss twins. These are some pretty smart sons of a bitches, George,
I would say they are. I mean, look, they were involved with the development of Facebook. Mm-hmm. Bear in mind, I got screwed over. I mean, I know they won some money in settlements with him, but listen, they just kept fighting on, and look what they're building. I mean, anything they get their hands on, they have a track record of doing well, and just by having NASDAQ as a backers, I mean, what do you think this IPO is going to open at? Any ideas?
I don't know. But I mean, if they're already doing private placement at $17 to $19 a share, right?
Is that what it is? Or?
17 to 19 a share is the private placement that's what NASDAQ's buying out. So I would say they're probably going to come out at those numbers, whatever the private placement is at, but I'm sure it's going to move rapidly. I wouldn't be surprised to see day one, again, not financial advice, for this to go to 25 to 35 a share. I think right over 30. I can see it go through the roof. Now, remember, Gemini has losses. They took a $282.85 million loss. That was the net loss on a $68.6 million revenue for the first half of this year, compared with a $41.4 million loss on $74.3 million a year earlier. So, of course, the proceeds from the IPO are expected to support general operations, debt repayment, and, of course, the expansion of stablecoin and crypto services. So it's kind of a big deal. At the end of the day, I think that you can't underestimate these guys. They're pretty sharp. They rebounded when I didn't think they were. I thought the Winklevosses were done. I thought they'd get the Facebook settlement and ride off into the sunset, but they bought a lot of Bitcoin, and now they're worth a shitload of money. So let's talk about OKX integrating their USDTO across the X layer wallet and exchange, George.
Yeah, so they partnered with Tether to integrate the USDTO. And this is actually a unified liquidity network for Tether's USDT across this Ethereum layer, their 2X layer, and the Onyx wallet and the Onyx exchange. So what's going to happen? Onyx and Tether integrated their thing. I mean, this is unifying a stable coin liquidity for over 80 million users. Now, users can deposit, withdraw USDTO, and access deeper cross-chain liquidity. Layer 0, though, OFT is going to power one-to-one USDT-backed transfers without bridges. No bridges, huh? That's going to make things a little easier, faster, and swifter, I'd say. They stated this in a press release yesterday. The rollout brings unified, composable stablecoin liquidity to its more than 80 million customers. So pay attention to that. With this listings and integration, the customers can now, they're going to be able to make deposits and withdraw through their wallets and exchange and make it easier, swifter. And this is another one. They can be able to access deeper stablecoin liquidity across the enabled networks on Onyx, including Arbitrum, Optimism, Unitchain, Polygon, Barrett Chain, and other supported chains. I mean, this is going to be pretty big. They're in a step in the right direction. This, I'm going to say the backbone of on-chain finance. So, but this move is actually going to be more consistent with its multi-chain strategy around their X layer. Now, this layer 2 is embedded across Onyx's product suite, is compatible with Ethereum tooling, and targets low fees, and high throughout to support both users and builders. Now, Lance, this company added the USDT has processed over 11.3 billion in bridge volume, involving more than 251,000 cross-chain transfers and 9 chain pathways in under a year. That is pretty big numbers. This is actually, they're saying this is the most active OTF in the layer 0 ecosystem.
Wow.
And stable coins they're actually becoming they're the backbone of the on-chain finance, but stable coins are going to be the backbone of a lot of things. You just wait and see. More to come. And actually, USDTO is developed with support for the Everdrawn Labs, which also powers XAuthO and contributed to Ally by Tether. So, not things, but Lance, I want to get to this because we only have like 7 minutes left.
Oh, please.
And you found this story, and I was actually like, what? Saying Bitcoin can be hacked. Quantum's biggest breakthrough proves it's not if, but when. So, I mean, if you're involved in
let me say this.
quantum computers,
let me be clear here.
If you're involved in quantum computers, probably. Go ahead.
I mean, when it comes to AI and quantum computing, anybody that thinks the current encryption is going to be able to resolve that, they are sadly mistaken. That is not going to happen. So the fact that Bitcoin may look untouchable, but quantum hardware has already shown the beginning of the end. The question is no longer if, but when. A researcher using IBM's 133 qubit machine cracked a 6-bit elliptic curve key, proving Shor's algorithm works on real hardware beyond theory. But, of course, history's always shown when you think about cryptographic systems, a lot of them were once considered secure. Of course, the Enigma to the DES 138-bit to the SHA-1, of course, eventually fell as computing methods advanced. And Bitcoin relies on a 256-bit elliptic curve cryptography, which remains unbreakable today, but quantum computing threatens to reduce that strength to a solvable problem. So when you start looking at billions of physical qubits would be needed to break Bitcoin's keys, yet progress in government reports warn such machines may arrive within decades or maybe even sooner, because now AI is being used to advance the design of new quantum computing systems. And the efficiencies that AI is adding are changing that timeline and moving it forward. So already governments, companies, and developers are already preparing post-quantum defenses, but Bitcoin's upgrade path is going to require global coordination, making its future security not a question of if, but when. So, I think this is, George, this is a story you have to keep your eye on because there's a lot of people that have doubled down on Bitcoin's value. At the end of the day, today's standard is tomorrow's flaw. So you have to think about it from that perspective. This is no joke. And listen, cryptography has always been one of those things. Today it works, and tomorrow it's not so secure. The U.S. government is trying to upgrade all its systems. They're in discussions with a platform that does quantum encryption. But are they moving quickly enough? Because let's face it, the Lazarus Group is not sitting around on its ass. They're already trying to figure out if they can hack the Bitcoin algorithm. So can't be sure about any of this.
The U.S., if they want to, they could just blast their internet infrastructure in North Korea. It's not like the people are allowed to use it anyway. They're not. They can't go on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
So why not? I would say blast it. Cut off their internet. See how the Lazarus Group likes that. Or, listen, you can't tell me that NASA doesn't know who they are and can't get into their systems. We know they can. So
no doubt.
They should. Just do it. And hit the kill switch. Blow up all their computers.
Definitely is. All right. Now, don't forget, if you like the Crypto Power Hour, you got a thumbs up, comment, take the link, share it with your friends and family, text them, say, hey, listen, if you want to learn about crypto, these guys are breaking it down. They make it simple. They do an education piece. Watch our old shows. And don't forget, if you're on any of the Spotify, Apple, you name it, any of the podcast platforms, Crypto Power Hour is available on just about all of them. So don't forget to hit that like, share, leave some comments, help us grow on the podcast channels. And of course, Solum.global, not .com, Solum.global. Go over to the website, check them out. A lot of big investment opportunities over there. You've got an opportunity. There's a lot of good news coming out, not financial advice. Take a look. Maybe it's a perfect fit. Talk to your own financial advisor. And also, go follow them on X. Go follow them on Truth Social and Getter. Also, follow Solum Global on X. True Social and Getter. And don't forget G. Ballantine, Lance Miaccio, and the Big Mig Show, trying to grow those accounts, doing what we do. It is what it is, baby. Crypto Power Hour and Crypto We Trust. George, my last words, my brother.
All right, so we'll see you at 11 o'clock in a few hours, Eastern AM today for the Big Mig Show. If not, you all have a great day, blessed day, and we'll catch you either in another Big Mig Show or the Crypto Show Friday. Love you all. Peace.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
President Trump has a bold new vision to help secure America's future through the power of cryptocurrency. Partnering with pioneers like Elon Musk, he's turning crypto into the next frontier of financial freedom. But how can you, a generation that values security and stability, advance your retirement in this digital age? Introducing BlockTrust IRA, the world's first AI-driven platform designed to help your cryptocurrency investments thrive. Thousands of retirees nationwide are already securing their futures with BlockTrust IRA. Isn't it time you join them? Visit BlockTrustIRA.com now and receive up to $2,500 in funding bonuses. That's BlockTrustIRA.com. The experts in accelerating wealth retirement.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation. As gold and silver prices continue to surge, and top economists predict upcoming shortages, Now is the time to secure your precious metals in the form of prepper bars. Go to prepperbar.com now and place your order before supply runs out and prices go up. All payment methods accepted. Order your silver prepper bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver prepper bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.